Hello everybody, let's talk about vocal registers and vocal tone. How do they relate to each other, how we can use them, how we can manipulate them to be able to sing whatever we want in whatever style, in whatever tone, basically however we want. So the basic register of your voice, the basic meaning that the one that you use the most is the chest voice, because this is the one that you speak with. Ah, all the notes that you normally use for speech. Of course, we use some head voice for speech as well, but mostly we use our chest voice, the low part of our voices. But then we've also got head voice. Ah, or falsetto. Some people call it head voice, some people call it falsetto. Some people say that head voice is when the vocal cords are connected and falsetto is disconnected, and it really doesn't matter. It's the other gear of your voice. It allows you to go higher, but the tone is very much different. It's not as rich as your chest voice. It's kind of hooty. But it's definitely usable, and it is used a lot in singing, especially pop singing. It is used as a stylistic choice. That is important, that it is a choice for you. Because these notes, for example, that for me are in head voice, I can sing making them sound like they're in my chest voice. So I have a choice, and that is important. Now, why do we get to having this choice? That when a note is high, I can sing it and making it sound like chest voice. It's a choice that allows you to sing whatever you want with freedom of choosing the tone that you want. So if you're gonna sing something like Man in the Box by Alice in Chains, fire at my eyes, Jesus Christ. You're not gonna do it in falsetto, right? That doesn't make any sense. It's just not the same song. It just sounds really weird. It's just not that song, right? So you want to have a choice to be able to go with full voice, even though it's quite a high song. So we want to be able to make these choices. Now, a lot of people refer to that as mixed voice, which is that you're blending your chest and your head voice, allowing you to make your head voice sound like your chest voice. Now, I'm not a fan of this mixed voice idea. First of all, because it's not actually real. We don't actually ever blend our registers. It's not something that ever happens in our voices. And it's really something that makes things way too complicated. Because why would you ever include that idea in the first place when it's just not real and it doesn't really work? What we are doing is we are not mixing anything. We are going from chest voice to head voice, but because we are retaining the vocal cord closure and we are letting the resonance to shift, we can maintain the tonal quality of chest voice. But there's no mixing of the registers ever occurring. So I don't like the idea of calling your full voice high notes mixed voice. I don't like that. You can do that. It's your choice, but I really am not a fan of that. Now, the part that connects our chest voice to our head voice, it's called the bridge. In male voices, it's usually between the D4 and the F sharp 4, depending on your voice type. And what many people get wrong is they say, for example, for tenors, the bridge is on the F sharp 4. Like, that's just absolute bullshit, because this will depend on the vowel. This will depend on how much chord closure you are using in a particular example, how loud you are. There are many factors, so it shifts It can be on an E4 when singing an U or an E, and then it can be on an F sharp 4 if you're singing an A quite loudly and with a lot of chord closure. So we can't really make that distinction that, oh, tenors have a bridge on an F sharp 4. It fluctuates, and you need to know your voice so well that you know when to start moving into your head voice. This is something that you have to do through simply repetition and just knowing your voice inside out. For example, I know that if I ascend with my voice on an I'm already switching here. I'm not in my chest voice anymore. And then going higher into my head voice. I know where are the points in my voice where I need to already switch. And allow my voice to go through here. Switching the resonance up and really allowing the sound to resonate where it needs to. And that is something we have to learn. But your voice will never be able to go through your bridge properly if your vocal cord closure is not maintained. So it's something that you have to work on. Keeping a slight squeeze, not tension, not strain, but a slight squeeze on your vocal cords. So you can do something like the slight cry technique allows you to keep your vocal cords together. You don't want to be loud with it. You don't want to be focusing on how beautiful the sound is, because it's not a finished sound. We're simply trying to keep our vocal cords close together without them coming apart and breaking. The slight cry and vocal fry will help you to get through this bridge area and actually build strength in the higher register. Don't forget to not trap the sound inside your mouth as you go higher. You don't want to be stuck with this heavy sound that is here. And you just cannot go any higher with that. You want to allow your voice to really go where it needs to go and resonate where it wants to resonate. And always remember, of course, that the high notes are not high. They are in front of you. You just grab them in front of you. You just firmly grab them, and they're not over there. You're not reaching for them. You're not reaching for them. They're here. Subscribe to my channel. So anyway, that's just a little bit of a video to clarify some of the terms being used and thrown around, while also giving you something to work with when it comes to singing in the higher register. I hope it was useful, and I hope to see you in the next video.